Welcome back to the Pabs Spot. It's your boy Pabs Prince. Today I'm accompanied with some of the greatest entrepreneurs in Chicago, AK and Odalys. They're the owners of Served. They've been in the creative community for a long time, and yeah, we're just happy to have them. Welcome to the podcast, guys.
Thank you for having us. Really excited. Rises. Thank you, sir, for having us.
How are you guys there? What you guys been through?
We've been prepping. We've been working. I was off for my 9 to 5, but quickly clocked into Served. So, yeah, we've been pretty much working since we've been up.
Yeah, it's been real. Having to do all this prepping for Valentine's Day, which is in a couple of days.
But your guys' event is on Sunday, right?
And we have an event on Sunday, yeah.
So aside from that, obviously Valentine's Day is probably really busy for you guys.
Very busy.
Well, I didn't think about that.
Yeah, mainly for her. She's the florist, so
Yeah,
I'm just here for support.
Okay.
for the flower dealer.
Yeah.
So today is a little different because we're at Served. Normally we do this podcast at PSA, but could you guys tell the people what your role is at Served?
Served is a flower lounge in the southwest side of Chicago, and we opened the doors September 1st of last year. So we haven't been a full year yet. This is going to be our first Valentine's Day here, so we're really excited. And the flower lounge is pretty much a flower lounge. It's a space that's split in half. And so half of the space is a flower shop and the other half is a lounge. So if you're waiting for flower, or we open up our doors to creatives or anybody that would like to host something on the lounge area or even on the flower shop area. But we had the split space and we kind of were like, oh, this is different. What do we do with it? And so that's what we came up with, and it's been working very well.
Yeah.
This is the lounge area where we're at right now.
I mean, we don't have anything like this on the south side or midway side of Chicago. We're always driving out to Hilton area or downtown area, find these places or that are
Cool, different. Creative hubs.
hubs. Trying to be inspired. And yeah, I mean, we know a lot of people. We get creative in many different ways, and we thought to bring something to Midway Area.
We reside very closely, and we've always been in this area.
Makes sense.
And yeah, we were just passing by and we seen a sign, and at that time she was also looking for a studio. So she wasn't really looking to lease. She was more so looking to rent. And then she came across this.
Yeah. Just to work, outside of my home, or at least have a workspace where I can, do whatever, separate, personal with
business.
Yeah.
Because last year for Valentine's Day she got slammed. So
How
now
are you taking orders? All through Instagram?
all through Instagram, and I have my studio at home.
So it was all
There was a whole
flowers everywhere.
Yeah.
And people picking up, and so it was a lot. And that's when she was like, I need a space. And then this came about. And then we're blocks from, we're a few blocks down from Midway Airport. So what better way to put a flower shop near the airport if you're picking someone up, if you're dropping somebody up. Yep.
That's really good. Wow. And then where does your role come in? Because if she's all the flower, you're more of an entrepreneur.
Yeah, so I have my own brand. I also have a run club. I go by AK, and I had started my entrepreneur journey back in 2019, and so it's definitely been a great journey. And my sister was actually living in California when I had started my own thing. Yeah, so she was on social media watching me do my shit, and she was probably like, what the fuck is my sister doing? Like,
She was doing everything. She's a
Mm.
full-time mom with a full-time job with
yeah, so a couple businesses, and she was just like, yo, like I was hosting events, I was dropping merch, and to see that through, social media, and like we're siblings, but we're just miles away. She was probably like, what are you doing or what's going on? And then she ended up moving back, and she started like gifting me and my mom bouquets, beautiful bouquets. And that's when I'm like, sis, you need to do something with your talent. Like, you have to share that with the world. Why don't you start a business? And she's just like, I don't know where to start. And I'm like, you've been helping me with mine. What do you mean? I'm like, I got you. Start a website, take orders, fulfill the orders. And then that's how
flower dealer came to happen.
So you weren't selling flowers in California?
No, I wasn't. I was over there, for quite some time. I was, born and raised here, but then I, vanished to California and did time there,
Yeah.
like 5 years. So for real, it was almost time because, I had to recollect myself and
she was getting her shit
figuring
together.
myself,
Yes.
out a little bit. And my sister then had these ideas, and we were, staying in touch while I was over there. And she was telling me like she had these ideas and she wanted to do it. And I was like, okay, well, I'll help you, and in the ways that I can, like even from over there, I was like still trying, like I purchased an iPad and she's telling me about like Procreate.
It's hard to explain it when you're not in front of someone, like, hey, this is how you do this or whatever.
And she's like, download Procreate, play with it a little bit, like you could do so much with this stuff.
I sent her all of my logins. I'm like, look, I have these emails and I have these other programs, and like, just go in there, look at them, kind of browse and kind of get an idea of what that looks like. And then like when I have time, we'll get on a call and I'll show you more. So that way, like, she can help me from afar.
But it was crazy because I like was right there with her. Like I believed in her vision and I was like, yes, like that's my sister. Like I can't wait to go back and I'm gonna help her with all this other extra stuff, because I'm also like a creative. I like to be hands-on. I also, while I was over there in Cali, besides like doing what I needed to do, because I went there to finish some school, and
When you came back, it was 2019? Or
it was about 3-4 years ago.
It was
during the pandemic?
2021.
After the pandemic, a little bit after the pandemic, because I started working there for Home Depot. I got a job at Home Depot. I worked the pandemic and at Home Depot there.
Wow.
It was a whole thing, and my plans were always to come back and be with my family, my only family that I almost really have. Like we don't have a big family, and also help my sister because she was a mother of two. And,
I am a mother too. I haven't gotten rid of them.
And so I was like, dang, like she's doing all this stuff. Like, let me go and see what I can do. At least, babysit, let her do AK.
Or her
Shout out
sister,
Titis.
she's always like, well, she's the madrina, so, but she babysits.
Is it Aurora's sister?
Aurora's sister.
Oh, nice. Shout out to Aurora's sister.
Oh, cool.
Love titis like you.
Yeah, and I knew what I had to do. I came back, and sure enough, she was already doing her thing, and I just was right there assisting.
Yeah, as soon as she landed, I was like, all right, bet. This is what we gotta do. Like, you gotta do this, you gotta do that. And then she's a quick learner, so she picked up very fast. She's always been very hands-on too and very creative. So it was just like, we were in sync. And it was great because shit, if anything that I already had in mind, she was like, oh, what about this? What about that? And I'm like,
Yeah.
yo, I was thinking about that. Cool. Like,
And then like I was at Home Depot, so like being at Home Depot, I also learned a lot, and I'm always curious to know like everything and like things that you can create with this type of material, with that and this, and like also was learning a lot from Home Depot where I'm like, how can I use this to make something and break the rules of like the right way of using this type of
thinking
material.
outside of the box.
Yeah, I'm like, like cement or clay, or there's people that do like clay work or like cement work or like boards, even like party planners that do like their backdrops for people. So I found out like with that foam board, you can do so much out of it.
Versus using plywood, it's a
Plywood.
lot more cost efficient.
Bringing those with it.
Right, there you go.
So it's like an insulation board, and you choose how thick you want
You need
this
it or want it to
thing
be.
to be, and I just started cutting things into shape. I
That's
made
okay.
like a trap house for AK one time. It was like my first kind of
Project.
project I did for her.
Mm-hmm.
And it's a house, and it says trap on it.
Right.
And in like the gap font.
Yeah, because I had designed it. It was like
She designed it. And I made it real life. I'm very like, I love to make things come to life.
to life. Yeah, yeah, you do.
How did you
very well.
how did you get into like, because that's considered graphic design, so you just got an iPad, you started doing Procreate, you went to school?
No, I did not go to school for it. I just literally bought an iPad and I started fucking around with Procreate.
And drawing. But you've always been drawing? Or-
No, so honestly, the way my entrepreneur journey started was like on accident, but like nothing's really an accident. I'm a true believer. So I had I've been a consumer for a while, and I'm just an advocate for the plant cannabis, and I was going to the Cannabis Cup in 2019. It was it's like a cannabis event. It's very well
Like a
known.
convention?
Yeah.
Okay.
Kind of. And yeah, so it was gonna be in Michigan, and we had just legalized recreational marijuana here in Illinois. So I was like, oh wow, like that had just happened. I already had tickets to the Cannabis Cup. I'm like, I can't wait to go. I'm gonna represent. And
She was just thinking of ways to like represent Chicago, that also
Chicago/Illinois that we just legalized recreational marijuana. And so I had a bunch of homies who had their own brand, and I hit up one of my guys, shout out Cooley, for a design. I'm like, yo, like I'm trying to think of a way to like represent, and like I was so close to just like taking a Chicago flag with me and like probably just, I don't know, doing something with it, right? But I'm like, hey, like, would you be able to put something together for me? I'll slap it on a shirt. Don't worry about printing it on it. And he's like, okay, cool. Like, what are you thinking? So I sent him what I was thinking. And that's how the Windy City tee came about. It was like the skyline with the blunt in between. And so that shit, like, okay, so he put together the design, I put it on a shirt, went to the Cannabis Cup, took a picture, and people were like, yo, what's up with that shirt? And I'm like, oh, like,
You were because all the people were like getting up about it.
yeah. And they were like, where did you get it? And I'm like, oh, like, I designed it. I just put it on a shirt for the Cannabis Cup.
So then we needed a drop.
So then we needed a drop. So my homie too was like, yo, a lot of people are asking me about your shirt. And I was like, oh shit, that's cool. I'm like, I had a lot of people ask me about it too. And he's like, well, how do you feel about like selling it? And I was like, well, I don't know. I never thought about it that way. And he's like, yeah, like I have a website. We'll put it on there. We'll do pre-orders. And like, he kind of like was explaining everything. And I'm like, yo, that sounds like cool. Like, I feel like people might want it because they've been asking me about it. And so he threw it on his website, pre-orders, and man, like that shit was going crazy.
Yeah.
Crazy. So
Then
we
she
ended up
needed like a second drop.
yeah, and so like we ended up selling maybe for about a week or maybe 2 weeks max. Pre-orders open 100 shirts.
Before the AK-47 brand was formed? Or
That's when so that was the start of
that
AK-47.
was the first.
Yeah, AK-47. So that was the first drop. Very unintentional and but very intentional. If I may say that.
Everything we do is a little.
Yeah, because I was using it for my personal use, but then it became something where like, and I've had that issue. I stated all the time when I was younger, and as a consumer, I always wanted to represent that part of me, and I'd always wear like ASAP Rocky shirts, Wiz Khalifa, Gucci. So it was like a lot of that was the stuff that I would wear, and there was not much like there weren't any brands that were representing cannabis at the time like that. Like there was no cookies. So when people were like, "Oh, I want it," or "Where'd you get it?" I was like, "Holy shit! Okay, I'm down." So we put it on the website. We ran 100 pre-orders, and then he's like, "Yo, I never redrop things. Like all of my stuff is like once I drop it, that's it. I'm not doing a redrop." And he's like, "But I think we should redrop."
Yeah.
And I was like, "Oh shit, okay."
The demand was there.
Yeah, the demand was there, and then we popped off another 100 shirts, and that summer, like a lot of people were rocking it. A lot of people that I didn't know consume were buying it, and I was like, "Whoa, this is so fucking cool!" So that's where I started AK-47, and then I started making more merch, different designs. I got an iPad. I started learning how to design.
And then that's when all like the
Shout out
events, started coming.
Yeah, I feel like there's a renaissance of events. Like there's a small group of people that
There were interesting events. I mean, my sister educating others on like the plant, or like so then
Big on that.
she was doing like also like trying to break the stigma, a lazy stoner, and so she was doing then book clubs, and then Mother Mary Jane, which was like for Mother's Day, like mother and daughter, or bring your mother and Pia or whomever to
get educated on the plant and its history. So it was cool.
Like not necessarily to be a consumer, but also like
Learn about it.
different ways, and
Would you say like the brand itself was all about consuming, or did you ever have drops that didn't have to do with?
No, I think they all revolve around cannabis,
Okay.
some way, somehow. So even like the panels were educational, but about cannabis.
Yeah.
The drops, some way, somehow, they relate to cannabis. The way I package all of my products, it kind of, gives you that experience that like you're kind of like opening up a baggie or like something like that. So
You guys both relate. I mean, the flower dealer and then served. It all
and
like
in that way, it all kind of played to be
It's in the
that
same
kind of
universe,
ways.
yeah.
So I mean, the flower dealer, they think about it as what kind of flower dealer? Yeah, like the plug. And I'm just like, I am the plug. Just normal flower, or
I mean,
Not
cannabis
what you
is a
think.
flower too, so.
and I'll throw it in there if you ask me.
Is there ever moments where you guys experience like shadow banning or something? I feel like certain
Yes.
topics
Mhm.
are like not allowed on Instagram for some reason.
It happens.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes, I've been shadow banned and even taken off of Instagram completely.
Yeah, it was a whole
About 3 times.
Yeah.
It was a whole thing.
That's crazy.
We were all like, bring AK-47
Free
back,
girl.
Free her.
Right, can you send her what do you call it?
AK-47 back up.
Yes, definitely.
All that. We tried
Like, reach
everything.
out to Meta or
Did you get
whatever.
it back? And,
A year later.
wow.
A year
It was
later.
crazy.
But that didn't stop me. That didn't stop me. I ended up making another Instagram. Through that Instagram, during that year, I started then hosting more events than dropping merch. Because throughout the evolution, I've been just trying to get a little more creative and just trying to find different ways on how to like, just, I don't know, like still break the stigma in different ways.
Yeah.
So then during that year, I started hosting like stoner movie nights, more for entertainment, provide a safe space for people, consume, watch movies.
We like creating these experiences for people. Like we enjoy also like the experience, like being a stoner movie night at a bar, aside from it being at a bar, which is already different, like we want to have them, we'll make like bags of popcorn and like still like, make it we make it fun. We make it
Yeah.
fun. We're a lot Chicago, so we'll have like the Chicago snacks,
Super donuts, Arizonas.
Arizona.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're very intentional when we host something or
Is
whatever.
Arizona specific to Chicago? That's crazy.
It's a
Southside thing.
You would think it was from Arizona.
Southside.
I think so. Like when
I always today-
you would like
Yeah.
That might be-
be in high school, you would go to the gas station and get you a little Arizona.
I guess we only had
And
only
for
so much money.
dinners.
Right, for dinners. Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
But yes, definitely was taken off of Instagram. And it was very devastating because, when you create a platform and you put in so much work, and there was a lot of work that I didn't save on my phone, that once I posted it on there, it was just kind of on there. I had a lot of my following, that was like there from the start, and then even newer, new followers who kind of like got a hold of me from, different projects and from all over the city. And it was like, fuck, like now I have to start from scratch.
Yeah.
And I was like, you know what? Fuck it. If I have to start from scratch, I'm just going to start another Instagram.
Yeah.
I didn't have the same following, but I was like, fuck it,
You did it once, you could do it again.
Yep.
I feel like I'm a huge advocate for being on multiple social media platforms, just because that could happen, and you never know if like Instagram could get taken down. Like it's good to be on Twitter.
Yeah. See.
Has that ever happened to you?
No, but I think it's because my brand is a little more cute. I guess I haven't really done any.
Cute. I love the character.
There was a time
I
because
love that.
I have done like productive pothead merch.
Oh, yeah.
I've done like 420 stuff. I've done grinders and
Yeah.
letters and stuff.
I purchased your shirt.
I've definitely
That's cool.
Gifted it to her, productive pothead.
yeah I think that's exactly
And her
what it
lighter.
was, right?
You have a
That's
lighter,
cool.
right? Or
Yeah.
I don't know. Who the fuck stole my lighter? That was
Yeah, lighters. Did you guys ever? So growing up, you guys were always this close? Like were you guys best friends, or did you guys?
We knew
Right.
we knew
We
we
knew each other.
we knew we had each other's back.
Yeah.
Mm.
No, yeah, it's definitely like our upbringing. We've had to really like stick together. Our parents were always working, and so like we had to like figure it out. So since we were kids, we'd have to like, okay, what are we eating? Or like, oh, we have to wake up, we gotta go to school, like we have to get there. We had to, we were independent, we had to mature at a very young age. So we kind of had to be there for one another. And we have we're 3.5 years apart. So yeah, I think we've been always pretty close, but I think during before she left to California, I had became a mother, so I'm a mother of two, and I already had that mom mentality. And so she was in her prime, where she was like, I'm going out, I'm doing whatever the fuck I want, I'm in,
I'm from Chicago.
I'm from Chicago. She had that mentality, y'all.
Oh
And so
my
that's why she
God.
had to fucking go.
Yeah, even in California, I was like, I'm from Chicago. Y'all
I don't know.
don't
It's a
know.
friend
Y'all don't know.
Don't fuck with her. That's a fucking.
Just
No,
kidding.
yeah. So
Yeah.
before she left, my mom was constantly like, hey, where's your sister? She's out and I'm worried and this. And I'm like, oh my God, Mom, I have my own kids to take care of. But also she was also I guess my kid at some point when I was younger, taking care of her. And so I get work too. And finally I was like, I had enough. You need to go to we have a half sister in California. And I'm like, you have to go with Joanna. You have to just clean slate, just start all over, just get your shit together. You'll be back. You'll be back. Everything's gonna be the way it was when you come back. Just go and
everything was the same when I came back.
yes.
I was just like, hold on.
Besides her mentality, she matured. She was like a
Yeah.
whole brand new person, and she came back inspired and ready to work and like.
Well, yeah.
That's what like one of my biggest fears raising my son. I mean, the baby I don't really like. He's so cute.
He's so cute.
Like it doesn't. I don't have to worry about him yet. But Lucas is already like starting to be mischievous and like
They get exposed to so much.
right and on like YouTube and he's picking up these words. He's always saying like no cap and I'm like where did you learn that? So it's just yeah it's
How old is he
frustrating.
now?
He's 7.
7.
So, but he acts like a 13-year-old. He's already like, it takes me like 30 minutes to an
Like,
hour
where's
to
he?
get him in the shower. Like, he doesn't want to do certain things. He's fighting me.
I feel you.
Sounds like
I
your
mean,
daughters.
you have 2 daughters, right?
Yes.
But they say like girls are a little more mature. I don't know.
They're okay, so they are very mature, but they're like so like they're so smart. And it's a good thing, but also could be a bad thing. Like the pushback is crazy. Like I'm just like, girl.
Because they make sense. And then
Yes.
it's like, Lucas will question me. I'm like, honestly, I don't know, bro, but you need to do it because that's you gotta shower. Like,
Right, your hygiene. Hello.
Yeah.
How do you explain that to your kid?
Oh, I'm gonna say it. I'm gonna say it, bro.
And he doesn't care. But how is that balancing entrepreneurship and having 2 kids? Because I know even me leaving for like a few hours and stuff.
Yeah, it's very tough. It really does take a village. So shout out to my village. Appreciate all of you. So yeah, it's been hard. Like parenthood, there's no like manual. Like you have to kind of learn as you go. You do get advice from other people who are parents, but you kind of have to take that with a grain of salt. Everybody's children are different. Everybody's upbringings are different. We have to break generational cycle. Yeah, all that. So that's really, really hard. And that's why I feel like a lot of people don't do it. Y'all should fucking do it because it's so worth it. And I do that through my kids. And it's been very fulfilling.
It runs into everybody until it runs into you.
Right, exactly. It runs in the family until it fucking ran into me. I was like, no, we're not doing this. I think my sister also has learned a lot from it. I call her my BD because she's been there for me since she's been back and like she's helped me in so many ways and there's so many times where she's like, how the fuck do you do this? Like I'm never having kids.
Coming back from California was like I was living in like full speed, like
I'm sure it was really slow over there, right?
What speed you're
I told her too, I'm like, life is different now. Like
I got a lot to do and I was like, okay, what can I do
to make things easier? And she helped a lot and continues to help me a lot. It's just the little things like you said, even like a couple hours away from home, it's a lot, but it's been a challenge and I love me a challenge. So I've been able to balance that. Again, I think the village plays a major part. Also, like the way you raise your kids, you set a really good foundation. So I'm really transparent with my kids. They know where I'm at almost at all times. They have my location, so they're constantly like.
They have phones. Well, they're a little older, right? Oh.
They are 9 and 13, but they do not have a cell phone.
Wow.
They're the only kids in their school that probably don't have a cell phone. They tell me every fucking day.
Yeah, that's how Lucas is. I had to take him off YouTube. He could only watch YouTube Kids, and he was like, "You banned me." But why is that? Is that because like you don't want them on the internet, or?
They don't need a phone.
Yeah, maybe they don't.
I don't think they need a phone.
Okay.
They get dropped off, they get picked up from school. They're not walking. Like when I was a kid, I fucking needed a phone. But
they got internet at home. They got their laptop.
Yeah, they have a tablet. Yeah, restricted. I still like we're not using it during the week. We're gonna do it on weekends. I make sure that they know that their school is their job. You have to take care of school. This is your job. Just like how we have jobs, you have a job.
Yeah.
And so
and they're they're pretty understanding. They are.
I guess.
Yeah, they might get a little upset, but
Yeah.
they know, like, they see it. I think they
Mhm.
see all the hard work that
We're all
doing.
putting in.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Mhm.
Like starting from my mom to like my sister to like me and then
We
my
have a
little brother.
And he's
We're always just like in and out of the house, like
How old's your brother?
doing something.
he's 18.
Okay.
Yeah, so we have, we're also raising him, and we're like, it's not easy. Like, we have to kind of like, check in on him. Are you good? How's school?
Yeah.
But
But no, the girls are learning a lot. They almost want to take over the serve.
yeah. They probably like, you should do this, you should do that. We're like, hey, that's a good
They
idea.
have all the ideas, and I'm like, good idea. Yes.
You guys know Esteban? What's his name?
What's that?
Esco Fitz.
Oh, yes.
So I ran into his dad at Layers this weekend.
Okay.
I was serving pizza there. So,
Mhm. Oh, wait, did you go to the...
yeah, I went. I saw you had posted a picture about, or like a video, but I didn't see.
We went there later, yeah.
Okay, I got
Cool.
I talked to Esteban's dad, and he had a business, and he said that if you're an entrepreneur and you have kids, you should incorporate them into this. So
Oh,
I
yeah.
kind of want to say.
Oh, yeah, you should. And I'm sure your son watches you. He knows
Yeah,
that you
he-
do podcasts, right?
I did a podcast with him.
And he wanted to be a YouTuber.
Yeah, he's
There you
still
go.
yeah.
See?
How
He's a
that's
YouTuber.
Yeah,
He's on
he's a-
YouTube. Follow him.
Follow him on Luke's Dungeon.
There you go.
No, yeah, for sure.
My
We do,
kids also
we
wanna
do
be
include
YouTubers.
them.
I was like, fuck that.
They're here and they see everything. And
So do you have like AK-47 range for the kids?
Not for the kids.
Okay.
I do not have any AK-47 merch for the kids, but I did start, or we started incorporating like things through Serve for kids, right? Because it's appropriate. I know, like, I'm a huge advocate for the plant, but I also know, like, there's
a balance.
there's lines that you shouldn't cross. I've had people ask me like, "Oh, do your kids know?" or will you ever smoke with your kids? Or like, that's a common question for me, and I'm just like, they're 9 and 13, like we don't have these conversations. I will at some point, right? Like, they know some things, but they don't need to know everything, right? There's a time and place for everything, and like, we'll get to that point when it happens.
I think that's been like the hardest thing as a father, trying to balance like keeping their innocence or like
Oh yeah, no.
letting them in on
Oh, for
like,
sure.
everything.
Mhm.
Because I want him to have a head start, but I also want him to
Continue to be
enjoy-
a kid.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm the same way. And you know what? Like, my older daughter, she is very like, Mom, don't forget that we have this tomorrow. Mom, like, or even like telling the younger one, like, don't do this, don't do that. And I'm like, honey, you don't have to do that. Like,
Mhm.
I'm mom. Like, I'll make sure to keep us on track. But I think she's seen us do it so much that she's like, oh, and this and that. And I'm like, no, don't worry
forget
about
this. Don't forget
Yeah.
that. And she'd be right.
Like, go update the calendar. I'm like, girl, don't update the calendar. That's my job. You do, go, I
Don't
don't
be a
know.
kid.
Yeah, go be a kid.
No, yeah, for sure.
So it's hard.
They're
It's
in the
really
mix.
hard. They are very much in the mix. Yeah, but I mean, it's cool.
Mm-hmm.
So this Sunday you guys have a Sunday Time of Love. Is that what it's called? Or Sunday? What's the event called on Sunday?
A Sunday kind of love.
Sunday Time of Love.
Exhibition, yep.
Is this the first art show of you?
That is the first art show here.
Mm-hmm.
You guys have been open since December. Yeah.
Mhm.
What are you guys looking forward to?
We honestly know a little bit of what to expect. Not so much because it's a great lineup, I feel like.
Yeah, you guys have
And
some
a lot of people are, interacting with what's
the
going on
posts.
with posts, and I'm a little afraid, but we're ready.
Also, when you have like that big of a roster, I feel like
Mhm.
everyone's gonna bring out their crowd. So,
Yeah.
what's
Right.
like the capacity here?
Well, we're Mexican, so
So there's no capacity. Yeah, we're
We'll
all
do the
just
rotation,
in the
like-
car, just boom, boom, boom.
Y'all seen the art. Y'all need to go. Nah, just kidding. I'm just kidding.
No, actually, so I think it's all gonna work out the way it should. It's from 6 till 10.
Yeah.
So, and it is like an art gallery. I know that when people host art galleries, there is like a a time where like, oh, everybody just ends up getting there at the same time. We may experience that, but again, it's like an art gallery. It's kind of like not in and out, but like
have a flow through the room and
And go outside.
no.
no.
So yeah, I mean, the capacity. We will be having our friend Remsky playing vinyl, and he's great. So I know people are gonna want to stick around.
That's true. Very true. Shout out to Remsky. He's gonna
He's a DJ.
Set the vibe.
he's a DJ. He also spins vinyl, and he also is very excited because he's been wanting to drop like a mix, a lovers mix. So this is gonna happen on Sunday.
He's gonna be right here.
He's gonna be right there on that table. So
Yeah.
we're really excited. Odalys is gonna have the bouquet of the month available for purchase. So she makes bouquets of the month. So every month she changes it up. And then that list of people, artists that are coming, I love it. Like normally they're up north.
Yeah.
And I think it's a good mix with graffiti artists too. So it's like, fuck yeah, like, oh my gosh, I'm so fucking excited.
Who did this wall?
This one right here? Oh, this was shout out Lefty, shout out Burr. They're some of the homies that we grew up with, and we were like, yo, we have this idea. We love the concept of like putting a fill inside of a room versus it being outside of a building. And I think
That was
going to
cool.
high school and Curie,
That was cool.
we went to Curie, so we had a lot of like graffiti artists friends
Mm-hmm.
and stuff. So we're like kind of like big on that too. And she incorporates it in her
Flowers as well.
talent, so it's pretty cool. Yeah.
I try because you get to play with the flowers and add some paint to them and spray paint, spray color the flowers.
And you spray paint too? Is that how, or do you like?
I don't tag, but I've done murals, I guess. I need to
Okay.
practice a little more. I was just telling Anthony I want to
With
get
spray
back out
paint?
there. Yeah, with spray paint. We had that studio in Skokie for like 2 years, and
Okay.
we were able to spray paint inside. So
Oh, that's cool.
we were just practicing every day.
Yeah,
Um,
I'm sure that's like also like
yeah. So as soon as it warms up, I'm gonna be out on the streets again. Like I definitely want to put myself out there more this year.
that's cool.
I do want to talk about Runners High. I don't think we've mentioned it, but you're co-owner, right?
Yeah, I'm a co-founder of
Co-founder.
Runners High. Yeah.
And when did that start? That was 20...
That started. So I started AK-47 in 2019. I believe that was 2021. So I had a whole year of just like dropping merch and then like kind of like I was also hosting like a podcast. It's at Hotbox Sessions.
Those were cool.
I
I enjoyed watching those from like here in
I watched
all the way in
Instagram.
Cali.
They were on
Yeah.
like Instagram, right? I don't think.
They were on Instagram,
Yeah.
yeah. I didn't have a whole setup. I just used my phone, but I thought it was
I don't
really
know.
cool.
Whoever the people you had in them, they were really cool. We should all get in the room together.
Yeah.
Yes.
I remember Tony.
Yes.
Yeah.
Consistent. Shout out
Consistent,
Consistent
yeah.
Plan. Yes, Tony. He was like down. I had a bunch of different people because I really wanted to show everyone else the perspective on someone who consumes that like is also, who knows? Like it was photographer, DJs. I had the Desvelados. I don't know if you know them, but they're out here, and it was really cool to just have a conversation with them and share it with people, and they're just like, "Oh shit, that's cool." We're just hotboxing. But Runners High then became a thing because I still have. It's a book club. It's called the Elevated Book Club. I'm actually now.
You did that with Ileana?
I do now
Okay.
do it with Ileana.
Yeah, she was. Like,
I met her through the book club.
It's weekly.
It's every other week.
Okay.
So
Where?
we've been having it at Soulful in Pilsen, and but when I had first started, I did it virtually. So I was like, oh, I'm gonna start this elevated book club, and I was trying to figure out how to do
Because
it.
it was still like ending like the pandemic.
Yeah, yes. So we still
That was
like
the reason for like
why it was virtual
Yeah.
because we couldn't see each other at the time. But
it
I
was
was like,
good because Cali
You were
hours.
routine from Cali.
Yeah.
oh yeah, she was joining.
Yeah.
So she had to wake up extra early because my shit was at 9. So she was out there at 7, reading,
Okay.
smoking shit.
I was early in the morning. 'cause-
Yeah. So shout out to you. That was dedication. And so like I had to figure out how to do it. And so
And it was good. I love the book.
Yes, I chose The Four Agreements. That was the first book. Great book. If you guys haven't read it, read that shit. It would change your life and your perspective on a lot of things. We started it virtually. Well, I started it virtually, and then when we were able to like live and see each other after the pandemic, I did it in person, and then that's when I met Ileana. And then after like seeing Ileana more and more,
Oh yeah, she's great.
she kept telling me like,
her.
yeah, she's
love
amazing. Love you, Ileana. Shout out Co-Create.
She's been on the
Yeah, she has. If you haven't checked out that episode, please do.
It's like her.
And so, yeah, we she kept like every time she would see me like, oh, when are you doing the book club again? When are you doing the book club again? And I was like, man, like honestly, I have so much going on because I had already started the run club. I'm like, I hate doing something that I'm not like
100%.
100% on it, right? And so I need a little more support. I'm looking for someone to help me, and like, you know, the days that I'm not able to make it, that they're still able to make it, and like it can still continue, right? So she's like, oh, what's up? Like, I'll help you. And then I was like, for real? And so we got together, and now we're still continuing the Elevated Book Club. We're on like the 7th book, so it's been pretty cool. Had a lot of different people join, and it's cool to hear people read. So during that time when I had started the book club, and you know, the world had opened, I met Carlos. He's the other co-founder. Shout out Carlos. He's the owner of Up Elevated Cocktails, and great friend. Became a great business partner, and like we got together one day and we're like, we were racing. We were racing. We had joined the race, the Turkey Trot, and we were talking about like, you know, just getting to know each other, right? We're like, oh, like we only knew each other on Instagram. And I had put on Instagram like, oh, is anybody running the Turkey Trot? He's like, yo, I want to join, like blah, blah, blah. And I was like, yo, so like, let's do it. I already have my ticket. He's like, all right, cool. I'm going to purchase mine. And then we were like, let's carpool. So we smoked on our way there, of course. And we were just talking and shit. And he was like, oh, like, it'd be cool to start a run club. And I was like, yo, that sounds dope as fuck. I have a book club. He's like, yeah. He's like, it'd be cool to do a run club. And it's like, you know, this, that, and the other. And I'm like, I'm down. So thankfully, I met someone with the same drive, same vision, was like, let's get it. And that summer, we started Runner's High.
Wow.
Yeah.
Crazy.
So we've been a thing ever since. And we meet, once summer comes or spring comes, we meet every week on Saturday. We change the locations and we map it out every month. And it's pretty cool.
You take a break in the winter? Because you can't really run in the winter.
We don't run in the winter unless like the weather is giving, but for the most part we host events in the winter through our Health is Wealth series. So we still like try to like be active, and like with Runner's High we'll like talk about, you know, how moving your body and eating healthy, you know, is very important.
What do you guys do after the setup for Saturday?
I gotta go pick up my kids. Yeah, I might have to go pick up my kids, but might have to come back and.
I gotta get to flower dealing and arranging.
Are you excited?
I'm excited to serve, you know, the community.
Yeah. You guys are open?
Yes, sir, yeah. Yeah, we're open to.
We're open regular hours, regular days, and then we extended the hours 10 to 7.
Nice.
Yes,
For
versus
people that
10.
are like working and
Yeah, so we're pretty much.
I'm excited. I'm
it's crazy
nervous.
because she also was like, "Oh fuck, the podcast today." I'm like, "Yes, sis."
Yeah.
And she's like,
You crept
"Holy
up on all
shit,
of
how
us.
did that happen?" I'm like, "Dude, we got if we don't, you know, put it on the calendar, it's never gonna happen."
Yeah.
So thank you for reaching
Yeah,
out.
thank you guys for coming on.
Thank you.
You guys
For
been
having
friends for a
us.
long time.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna be here Sunday for good.
Oh, nice. Yeah, bring the homies.
Yeah.
It should be a really good time.
Yeah.
No, the capacity is there. You're
kids there. Yeah, bring the kids.
Yeah.
We're kid friendly,
Yeah.
and it's really cool to expose the kids to like a lot of the
Art.
stuff that we're
Mhm.
doing, right? Art and everything, so they could also be inspired. My kids are on it too.
Oh, for sure. Yeah. We're probably gonna have the girls maybe.
They might want to come or not. I don't know. Like I said, they're fucking
See how crazy
They're lovely.
their titi could be. And no, I'm just kidding.
yeah. They're probably like, oh, they're gonna put us to work. Let's not go. Yeah.
I'm just kidding.
All right, guys. Can you shout out your social and maybe the address of the store if you want?
Sure. You could find me, or you could find my business page on Instagram, AK40Sev. And Runners High Run Club is Runners High Chicago on Instagram. And you can also find the Elevated Book Club on Instagram. It's just spelled like that way, the Elevated Book Club. And that's all from me.
You can find, the flower dealer at the flower dealer Chicago
The real
on
one.
Instagram.
The real one.
The real
Yeah.
one. Make sure you follow the real one. And if not,
Serve Chicago.
Serve Chicago.
Serve Chicago, SRVD, without the vowels.
Yes. SRVD stands for served. So don't forget to get served.
Nice. Mhm. You can follow me at Pabs Prince, PabsPrince.com, PSA Chicago. Yeah. Thank you guys. Appreciate you.
Thank you.